evening and welcome to the Almont Community Schools Board of Education work session on Tuesday, June 16th of 2026. We will call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Burrow, will you do roll call, please?
Mr. Wade. Here. Mr. Burrow here. Mr. Burns.
Here.
Ms. Jackson. Mr. Gutierrez.
Here.
Mr. Eckert. Here. Ms. Smith.
Here.
We have 6 members present.
Thank you, Mr. Burrow. Adoption of the agenda. Mrs. Van Huntley, any additions?
No additions.
Any deletion?
Yes, deletion under finance number 5. The bond payoffs will be tabled until next month.
Any amendments?
And amendments, you have a new yellow sheet for new hires, an update there, and also just to give you the heads up for finance number 6, the state aid borrowing. Mrs. Merrifield will talk about that in her report.
Thank you. Communication break.
So there's a few things to cover. First, I'm going to start with the Kerner Family Grant update. We were able to meet with Mr. and Mrs. Kerner on June 4th. A big shout out, thank you to Principal Spear, teachers Mrs. Kendall and Mr. Hunter, high school science teachers, and our board member Mr. Burns for joining us at the meeting. Overall, I felt like the meeting went really well. It was great to get in the same room and have some really good discussion about, number one, how the grant money has been spent thus far, and also providing an update through presentation, photos, evidence of how the grant money is being spent. And again, some great discussion about even some reallocated items. So for example, the U of M DEEP program is not in session, it's not being offered. So going back to that original grant and letting them know, is there a way, or having that discussion, is there a way to reallocate those funds to another budget line item? We were able to have that conversation. And then even after that conversation and discussion about what we'd like to see in 26-27, also resharing a spreadsheet so we can confirm that that's the discussion is what they will approve of moving into the next year, and strongly recommending that a site visit happen in early fall. I know Mr. Burns will definitely make sure that he's in on that as well, making sure that they're invited to campus and looking at our STEAM programming across the district. Again, also opening up the door, not just for high school, but potentially, if the need is there, we could open up that door to the middle school as well. So I thought there was great discussion. I can get Mr. Burns' take on that as well if you'd like.
Yep.
But I really feel like it's an opportunity to kind of reset, refresh button, and start working with the Kerners again in the fall, reevaluate the district needs and wants, to make sure it's communicated. That's what I have for that. The EOP update, met with Lapeer County Soups last week virtually, and maybe some of you remember in the room, I'm not sure if that's Mr. Wade or maybe Ms. Smith, but this was, I guess back they referenced, or Dr. Kelmar referenced COVID times where the county soups came together and want to kind of move together on an initiative. This would be another example of that, where the county soups would like to move together with the EOP, the communication, the protocol, even the template if possible. So all that is made available. Unfortunately, the timing kind of stinks with some of the transitions taking place. But I do meet with our recommended new superintendent, Kyle Wood, next week, and I'll make sure, this is very important, that this communication gets passed along, that there will be, Dr. Kelmar's arranging the superintendents to come together, I want to say in August. So again, that communication to not only staff, but to students and to families, it comes out consistently. And there's a lot of, we're partnering with an organization, that's where we received our training earlier this month as well, through the Love You Guys Foundation, I'm gonna recommend that we continue, or you continue that work, so that the templates and the communication can remain consistent with peer pursuits. So that is the recommendation moving forward, and that will be shared with the new superintendent. Received a really, really nice email from a parent, coach, community member, and we probably don't do this enough, although I do feel like the district has been really trying to recognize through a greater recognition and just recognizing staff and programming. So I'm hoping that continues because it's well deserved. But we received a really nice email about Coach, or Mr. Jeff Boholsky, also one of our high school teachers, and I'm sure Mr. Wade can chime in as far as being in this light. It's the track coach in him, and we have a solid track program, and very proud of our entire track season and program this year. But wanted just to share a little bit, kind of summarize the email from the parent. And also coming from, I would say, Mr. Zimmerman wanted to echo what was being said about, or what's being said about Coach Boholsky here. So we'd like to recognize Coach Boholsky for his extraordinary dedication to our student athletes and the tremendous impact he's had on our track program. Through his encouragement, leadership, and commitment to helping every athlete discover and achieve their potential, he builds confidence, character, and a sense of belonging that extends far beyond the track. This season, Coach Boholsky demonstrated exceptional perseverance by finding multiple opportunities for student athletes to compete after weather cancellations threatened to derail their goals. His willingness to personally invest his time, energy, and support resulted in a boys relay team breaking a school record and qualifying for Megastar, while the girls relay team earned a first place finish. As a full-time teacher, varsity coach, devoted father, and mentor, Coach Boholsky consistently goes above and beyond, and we are incredibly fortunate to have him serving the students of Almont Community Schools. So I thought that was nice, and I did want some formal recognition, so I wanted to bring it here tonight. Sorry, guys, I have to reconnect here. Our vacancies currently started with administration. Currently, we have superintendent, the recommended superintendent. It will be Mr. Kyle Wood. We also have vacancies in the OP principal slot and high school principal. Teacher vacancies at the high school. We have 2 social studies teachers due to retirement, so looking to replace 2 social studies teachers. After speaking with Principal Spear, we have 6 candidates that will proceed to the second round interviews next Monday, June 22nd. And I heard it's a very good pool, so we're very, very hopeful there and confident we're going to secure 2 great teachers. The middle school, presently looking at, we need to secure 2 special education teacher positions. One's MOSA and one's resource room. Support staff vacancies for aid and lunch recess aides positions. They're stated here. OP, we need to secure 4 special ed and 4 lunch recess aides at OP. Middle school, we need 2 special ed parapros and 2 lunch or recess aides. High school, 1 special ed parapro and 1 lunch recess aide. I also wanted to share that we have some shifting going around because of some retirements as well, or moving positions. So at the middle school, due to Mrs. Taylor's retirement, we have Melissa Machiniak taking that spot as head secretary. The middle school is in very good hands. Melissa is phenomenal. And we have our recommended Samantha Labiak as the assistant secretary. High school, we have a recommended head secretary, Deanna Braidwood. And we have then Susan Brown, Mrs. Brown is shifting over to athletic director secretary. Asked to bring an update for esports, so just wanted to touch base on this. I know it's been an ongoing conversation, seeing if we can get interest and take some next steps here. Per Principal Spear, there's approximately 20 students who have shared their interest in maybe becoming and participating in an esports club. There's been questions, and Principal Spear does have an email chain out to Mr. Markland regarding SIPA and the Children's Internet Protection Act. Mr. Markland, he did get back, and there are ways and controls to allow this. Obviously, there's a lot of schools who do participate in this opportunity. So there are ways to control the internet, if you will, with parental controls in accessing the games, turning them off during school hours, for example. So there are controls there. Per Principal Lewis, one teacher, Mr. Seth Hartshorn, has expressed interest in learning more about an esports club. Another step then to that, if we're going to get teachers to step up and participate and run these clubs, then perhaps it would be a good topic as the negotiations take place this fall. So getting esports on the Schedule B might be a good course of action there. Recommend. Wanted just to make sure that we're always referencing here, when you have an opportunity, the non-homestead operating millage renewal. I hope you've seen the videos circulate out there as part of the 5 videos that we had done through K-12 Media. 2 of those videos, one was a 1-minute, one was a 30-second clip to inform our taxpayers about the upcoming millage. Again, no tax impact on the primary residence. They're at the website, the almontschools.org. You can go there and click on a link, and it will give you more information about our non-homestead, including an FAQ. And then just not forgetting to vote. Early voting starts in July, and the vote takes place on August 4th. I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Smith. She had some Board of Education updates.
Just an update about the superintendent. Pleased to announce that we've reached a contract agreement with our incoming superintendent, Mr. Kyle Wood. They'll be working closely with Mrs. Van Heltmeyer throughout the transition process to ensure continuity and a smooth start. Mr. Wood will be in the district next week, I believe, on the 23rd and 24th. He'll have one-on-one conversations and transition discussions with Mrs. Van. During that time, they're going to be collaborating, working through the transition plan, getting introductions for students, staff, and the community. And I've seen Mrs. Vaughn's table, and she has a lot of information organized, and we're very, very grateful to that. So thank you so much for being proactive with that. Mr. Wood will start officially in the district on July 1st, and I hope everybody will welcome him along with the board. Mrs. Vaughn, we are deeply, deeply appreciative to your dedication to Almont and all that you have done to guide our district so far, and that you continue to do. So thank you very much. Our open seats for the Board of Education. In November of 2026, there will be 5 seats open for the Board of Education. If anyone is interested in running, you will need to submit the proper paperwork to the county clerk by July 21st. We're in the process right now of creating a tab on our district website that will have have a guide provided by MASD on the steps to take to run for a seat for the Almont Community Schools Board of Education. As well, I invite anyone who is thinking about running to please engage in conversation with any of the current board members. Any one of us would be more than happy to sit down, meet you, have a conversation, tell you more about the role, explain the time commitments and everything that goes into this position. Serving on the school board takes a lot of time, patience, and it's a lot of behind-the-scenes work, which we all know. But I think that's one of the most meaningful ways that you can shape the future of your school and your community. So if you're looking into this opportunity, I truly hope that you consider it. And the last thing I have, we have an email from the Almont Homecoming Committee. I'm just going to read this to you guys. As part of Almont Homecoming 2026, the committee and the Historical Society are creating a new time capsule that will be buried in 2026 and open in 2076. They would like to invite the school Board of Education to participate by completing a guided community leadership letter, and the letter will help future generations understand your organization's role in the community, the issues and opportunities facing Almont in 2026, and your hopes for the future. We also encourage participants to include a current group program. If you're interested in participating, they just let us know when we can have the materials dropped off and stuff. So they would need it by August 1st. So I guess I'm kind of putting that out to the team if we want to do that, and if there would be something we want to take the lead role on that. I think that would be appropriate and the right thing to do. Right, Mr. Wade?
Absolutely.
Would you like to take-
I would recommend the secretary, since he has to write a lot of stuff.
Oh, there you go. He has great handwriting.
Great typing, great typing.
Typing.
Typing, yeah.
Mr. Burrow, you want to take the lead on that?
Yeah, so what are,
I can forward you the email.
Okay.
Yep, I'll share that with you. That's all I have. All right. Questions and comments pertaining to the agenda. Anybody in the audience like to be recognized at this time? None. Anybody from the Board of Education?
Mrs. Smith?
Mr. Burke?
I would just like to echo Mrs. Bond's sentiments about the meeting with the Kerners. I thought it was a good meeting. We made good progress on things, kind of reestablished, I thought. Mrs. Bond was very organized, had a great agenda. We went through, Mrs. Kendall, Mr. Hunter did a nice job of presenting what the students have been doing and kind of the needs that they see, kind of shifting some of the plans and that sort of thing. So, I appreciate it.
For the Kerner grant update, in lieu of the transitions we have, 5 open board member seats, do you think that we could get similar to how we did the sinking fund, where it's on the agenda every month, even if there's only a 30-second update or where the spending is, so that way we can know that it's being worked down and whatnot? I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
In what capacity are you, you want to know, because there's different buckets, so you're looking for a balance of each one? Or
No, not necessarily. Just like a board update that, hey, we spent money or we're not spending money. This is what we're planning on doing. This is just like an update, because it seems like they were upset because we weren't following up with them, and with a lot of new board members coming on in the near future and a new superintendent, we might need to just keep it top of mind for a while.
Just have it as a long-standing, under communications.
Yeah.
burner.
Yeah, and I mean, if there's no update for the month because it's July, there's no update, but try to keep it until we work that down. Because it seemed, correct me if I'm wrong, but they wanted us to spend it as fast as possible.
I mean, yeah.
Within reason, but diligently, but
Yeah.
use it, so.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah, I like that.
Anything else, Mr. Burrow?
No, that's it.
I want to thank Ms. Bond for bringing that information about Coach hosting. That's really nice to hear about one of our coaches and our staff members. So thank you for sharing that.
For sure.
And sometimes we forget to hear about all those things. So thank you for that. And I do want to extend my appreciation to the Kerners for coming and meeting, and to Ms. Bond and her staff, and to Mr. Burns for doing that. Sounds like it was a really well-received meeting. So thank you for doing that. Unfinished business. That will take us to curriculum.
The Board of Education approves the instructional program for students. 2 additional courses have been added to the EdTech offerings in the high school course guide, Fire Academy, and Visual and Performing Arts, and that'll be based out of Inlay City. The updated 2026-27 high school course guide is in the board's June Rule Drive folder.
Any discussion on it?
I think it's awesome that they're adding Fire Academy to that.
I know, I was
That's great.
excited to see that.
Yeah, so that's good. And obviously the visual and performing arts.
Yeah.
It's good to see that we can partner with other cities.
Agreed.
and get those.
Very nice
So,
additions.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love it.
So is that 2?
Yeah, Sherry.
Right,
Yeah.
Sherry's,
Yeah.
yeah, Sherry's got 2-0. Thank you. And the other one is just a quick update. After speaking to Mrs. Narad, our high school counselor, as of semester 1, let's see, we'll have 38 students who require credit recovery over the summer, just to give you the heads up on that. And for the 26-27 school year, there are 66 students who are enrolled in dual enrollment, with a total of 230 classes being taken. And for 2026-27, there are 50 students who are enrolled in a Michigan virtual class.
And all for curriculum?
That was curriculum, yes.
Building and site. Right? We have another presentation.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Just go over some quick updates and some projects that we're currently working on or hope to accomplish over the summer. Just a follow-up on the update from the fire back in March at OP. We were waiting on the wall mats to be installed. That was completed. The only other thing that we don't have is the cause and origin report. The investigation is still working with the manufacturer, and it's just one of those things. They said there's really no timeline. It's just I'll keep checking back with them to see if they have it. Today was the fire panel inspection. The state inspector wants to see one more strobe that's in that hallway that we call the Hall of Fame, or the cafeteria hallway. There's a doorway there that wasn't on the print. So when the engineers did it, they didn't put a strobe there. It's pretty simple. If the guys would have had one on their truck, they could have did it right away. So with that being said, as soon as the guys get one put in, inspector said just call him directly. He'll come right out, just test that, and it'll be done. Everything else is approved and good. So he just wants to see that. An update on the track. Weather hasn't been cooperating. The plan is they will be here this Friday to begin stripping the latex from the area that they're going to be doing, the leveling and where the dips are. For projects, this kind of goes back to the walk that we did in the lecture hall. As I had mentioned, those seats, they're obsolete. You can't get parts for them anymore. So I'm going to eliminate the back row to kind of salvage or Frankenstein some of the parts to make some better rows. And I'll do that until I can get all complete rows, sacrificing, like I said, starting in the back. Plan on replacing all the emergency exit lighting at the high school, painting the boys and girls locker rooms. They're in dire need of being done. We'll be able to do that in-house. And then, of course, from last month, we've got to get those duct diffusers at the OP that I showed you, get those replaced. Currently sharing the lift with IT for some of the projects they got going on. So once they wrap up, it'll be something that we'll get in place to where once summer school's out, we can get in there and get it taken care of. But we'll be able to at least assess the situation and get some pricing on what it's going to take to replace those.
Thank you, Mr. Jason.
You're welcome. Clarifying question.
Yeah.
Mr. Frederick?
Yes.
For the lecture hall, the seating, thank you for taking time to do that. Have we ever priced out, I know they don't make those ones, just overall brand new lecture chairs?
I'd have to get the price for you. I have, and it's a lot because you buy them in sections, sections of 5 or 6 seats at a time.
Oh, okay.
And it was. This would be a really good alternative. I think it was Mr. Wade brought it up that he had seen it done in other areas. Now, I don't think that ledge is big enough that you could put a table and chairs, but at least we'd be able to salvage and get some good rows.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Now bring it to finance.
Let's start with checks written.
I had one. This is Merrifield, line 152, check 47537.
Is to Delore Service Company.
There's a place that we get the HVAC parts for the high school unit, classroom heaters.
Okay.
So
That's kind of what I thought. But everything's so well labeled on here, and sometimes it's hard to find one that's questionable.
It is very hard.
Yeah. I'm like, that's clear, that's clear, that's clear, that's clear.
Amen.
I have a bunch.
I'm good.
Okay. 47518, line 116.
Okay, our repairs. There's the OP kitchen dishwasher repair.
Like a maintenance type thing, or will it?
It wasn't coming up exempt, and that was coming up on our health inspection, and
Okay.
they would have failed if they didn't reach the proper temperature, so.
That's not the food service account.
Then 47534. I said with a non-food med. Chartwell.
That's so Chartwell's, yeah, 1404. I think that's for like supplies for paper products.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
47537.
This is partnered with the one I was.
Well, that's what we did, right?
That's
Yep.
the one.
It is.
It's the
Door.
same-
So, yeah, never
Yeah.
mind. So we're good on that one. And then 47581.
That is yard services. 47581.
So my question was on like line 275, it says half field striping.
Yep.
So that just, like, did it half a year ago?
Yep.
Okay.
We do it in like spring and fall.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all? Okay. We will move on. Take a minute to check account balances. Any questions?
None for me.
I had looked at the high school account. So I know we just had that meeting. Are you going to redo all the curve ones and give them the new money and stuff like that? Will that be able to see that in July?
Yeah, it's
I've
already,
not been updated.
yeah, we will make sure that
Okay.
Kathy has the update. Yes, we did those updates and shared it with them. I wanted confirmation. I just received confirmation from them. I think you were on that email as well. So they approved of the changes. So we'll make sure that that gets to Kathy.
No, no, I
Okay. And nothing there. Let's move to student activity accounts. Any questions?
None for me.
To Mrs. Merrifield for budget for 2026, 2027.
Okay, I'm presenting on the 2025-26 amended budget proposal and the 26-27 proposed budget as of today. Again, we'd like to remind everyone of our historical fund balance.
Everybody see okay, or do you have something like that?
I feel like so. Is that right?
Something like that?
Yeah. Thanks, Janina. I like to think of our, in speaking about our budget goals, that no budget is a numeric expression of our vision and priorities. And I wanted to talk again about those priorities for what Almont District that means for us. Is sustainability, retention, finding our district's sweet spot, which meaning teacher to student ratio, running a cash flow so there's no state aid, no borrowing, watching the fund balance, keeping that healthy, etc. Attrition management, workforce balance, match enrollment to staffing identify challenges and impact, stress on the budget, to increase mental health, to carefully watch increased mental health needs, special education, discipline, substitute staff. I want to talk again about the 5 budget pillars. And as of today, we have a foundation allowance that the governor, state, and House all agree, which I want to say again is not passed yet, and hopefully they'll pass it on or near July 1st, which is the law, and not October 7th like we had last year. The fiscal year 27 increase is $250 per pupil to get us to an amount of $10,300 per pupil. The per pupil count and student enrollment that was used in this year's fiscal year 27 budget proposal, there's no change. And I wanted to bring to your attention a lot of talk about how the state is changing that state membership. Instead of taking the 90% of the fall and 10% of the spring in different years, there's much talk about using a 3-year blend. So that would be very encouraging, not just for our district, but all of Michigan districts. And we are really, really hoping that goes through. Wage and wage increases, what was used in this proposal are contracts as negotiated as of June 16th. And the AEA includes step per their contract language. The state retirement contributions, the MIPSER's cap, which is a retirement fund, has gone down to 27.51%. It was 29.91%. And the UAL has also gone down to 13.51%, and it was 15.02%. However, the medical insurance increase, the PA 152 hard cap, has gone up 5%.
Did those like offset each other?
Mm-hmm. They give and take away.
Yeah, right.
The fiscal year 27 budget overview of assumptions are as follows. We are assuming and praying that the non-homestead millage will pass. That means approximately $1.7 million for the district. The sinking fund proposal will pass, which will take the stress off the maintenance budget. The utilities increase. The percentages used are 25% for water and sewer, 7% waste and trash, 10% general liability insurance, that one hurt quite a bit, 15% heating cost increase. And then our normal contracted services are contractual increases for custodial, HVAC maintenance, transportation, grounds maintenance, etc. And I just wanted to point out, again this year, as in previous years, that we took a conservative approach to revenue estimating as per pupil enrollment blend and the per pupil allowance. And then just to not keep you in suspense and give you the bottom line right away, because we all like that, the fund balance proposal is as follows. I've listed the adopted fiscal year 26 budget amendment back from February compared to the proposed fiscal year 26 budget amendment as of today. And then the fiscal year 27 budget proposal. And the two proposals are reflecting a deficit, no deficit balance. And I wanted to add too is, I can't talk enough about how awesome the Business Managers Academy has been as I've been participating in that. It's a year-long program. And you share insight with all business managers from all over the state of Michigan. And there's a very high percentage, I think about 80–85% of districts are fund spending. They're dipping into their funds. And as a personal note, what I've noticed is the districts that are along the west coastline of the lake are experiencing growth and building new buildings and just having success over there. But so we are able to carefully present to you a zero fund, zero balance. Okay, the 26-27 budget, general assumptions again. We are projecting a state aid membership blend the same as last year, no change, which means, like I brought before you our fall and spring certified counts. And I want to reiterate again the possible 3-year blend, which I did not use in the assumptions. Foundation allowance again is an increase from $10,050 to $10,300, so $250 per pupil. And then revenue funding assumptions are from the governor, House, and Senate. They're all on the same page this year, so that's good. Other cost increases that we've noticed for this year is an increase in substitution staff, an increase in the health cap, utilities cost, of course, and inflation. Property and casualty, as I mentioned, has increased by 10% from $137,000 a year to $150,000 a year. And then per RJ, our financial advisor at PFM, we are looking at a 4% increase in revenue for general property tax. The wage assumptions are used as per contract agreements as negotiated as of today. And that includes the natural steps as the AEA contract indicates. The budget proposal includes the Chromebook refresh as recommended by the tech director, which has gone up since April to $178,447 per year for 4 years. It also includes our Wi-Fi refresh of $82,000. Our estimated average 5% increase for eligible teachers and staff. And again, I want to disclose that the budget includes estimates and projections, and actual results will vary. Then on the revenue side, the enrollment with future projection. I know this is based on kindergartners coming in and seniors going out. And our common theme is to keep our kindergartners so that they will, a natural replacement of seniors going out. We'd like to see a growth in kindergartners, and hopefully that will happen this year with our additional GSRP classroom to kind of keep those kindergartners and keep them with the district. Our revenue sources, I just wanted to point out that 87% is from the state, 10% from local, and you'll notice for the federal that it keeps getting smaller every year. We're getting 2% revenue from the federal government, from federal grants. This is our snapshot of our revenue. I wanted to present to you the last 3 years of our audited revenue numbers. What we adopted in February, actually, from the fiscal year 26 amendment, the proposed fiscal year 26 budget as of today, and the fiscal year 27 budget proposal as well. The difference between June and April is 1.116% increase. And then the amendment of fiscal year 26 versus proposed fiscal year 27 is 1.5% increase. On the expense side, I thought this was interesting. In comparison to our revenue funding sources, 61% of that funding is for instruction, 38% for support, and then 1% from community services. On the expenditure side, I was hoping to be able to put this in nice graphs for you, and I will by the next time we meet, but I wanted to be able to give you, again, the audited past 3 years. This is for total instruction. It's gone down just a hair for this amendment proposal, and then equally down, a tad bit for next year. Now, as far as, I apologize for the size of this, but this is all the chunk for support services and its breakdown. One of the largest increases are in our, sorry, I can't do this myself.
Is this in the drive, so that we can pull it up?
I'm going to put it in the drive. I just wanted to be able to present it to you first.
Okay.
I'm trying to make this bigger for you. The largest increase that we are seeing is in the student instructional, the pupil support service, instructional support. That is an increase, so you can see, of 10.26%. And again, the information technology, of course, it includes the Chromebook refresh and the Wi-Fi. And of course, there's transportation's kind of been holding steady from what we budgeted to. Other expenditures are the community services. It's bigger. We are having an increase in our latchkey program. It's being, utilized a bit more, and we're requiring more aides, of course, and support here. So again, just to show you, the revenue and expenses broken down, and that we are still able to hold a zero balance, a non-deficit. Yes, there are certain items that are not included in this. I know last month we had discussion about an assistant high school principal, and we were asked to not include things in the budget that were not approved for yet, position-wise. So that is not included in the budget.
I thought we had, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought we were including that in the budget.
I remember us being told to not include positions that weren't approved yet.
The hit to the budget for these positions, I believe we had said, based on what was provided, that it would be included.
I do have a list of things to add in, and that is definitely on there.
Yeah, because we had talked about the one teacher retiring, basically like kind of that would account for adding that position back in with no real change.
And then there were a lot of increases since then, like the Wi-Fi I'm sorry, the Chromebook refresh was an increase from April. There's an increase in EduStaff expenses for substitutes, from staff absences, taking sick days, and having, to get EduStaff substitutes in.
So if we're at zero balance now, then if we were to say at that position, then we're going deficit,
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
And keeping in mind, I always try to go by things we know and what we don't know, and we don't exactly know what the blended count will be. If the state does approve that 3-year blend, what our enrollment is going to be, it's always higher on the first day of school and in the fall count than in the spring. And if there's a 3-year blend, then we won't have to worry about spring and fall and who's here to be counted and not. We have a lot of transition of staff. So we did our best to, try to estimate at what salary we can get new employees and new staff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of,
And that's embedded into this.
it is. Yeah.
Now, on
But
the,
it'll change.
Kathy, on the enrollment, I think I saw, on one chart, I thought we had, last year's projection was 1349, but then the actual was 1344. But then another chart you had it at 1358.
Right, so what we get paid on is the 1358,
Okay.
even though the actual is 1347 because of that blend, the 90%.
Okay, all right. Yeah, yeah.
So the assistant high school principal is not in there, and the multi-unit students is not in there, correct?
Dean students is still correct. So we left the athletic director and dean as one position, and then kept the assistant athletic assistant in there.
I think we're not ready for Mr. Burns. That we wanted to limit so we can make decisions, right decisions for moving forward. So, the latchkey program, is that self-sufficient? Should it cover itself? You said you were adding more staff to that?
Yeah, it was part of the year. It was sorry, let me just go back. I'm actually going to bring up my detail, so we can get to these questions in detail here. So the latchkey revenues for this year-to-date is $88,786. And then but there's an increase in aides proposed for next year, and the hours that they work.
Is that based on an expected increase in kids using
Yeah.
latchkey, i.e. revenue?
Yeah.
And then you said there was an increase on the Chromebook refresh. Do you know how much that was and what was the reason?
62, it's about almost $13,000 more a year. And I'm pretty sure it's because of what's happening overseas.
Did we already have a quote on that?
Yeah, they changed the, well, I'm just going by what
Yeah,
I was
sure.
given by the tech director.
Yeah.
I was reminded before the meeting that last year that we had all the line items Is that going to be uploaded into the drive tonight?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, if you can have all of that in the drive tonight, because I know I want to do a little bit more digging, I guess, so, on some of these things. That would be great.
Okay.
And then we had talked about adding the different quality toilet paper. Is that in?
Oh, yes, it is in
That
there.
is in there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Can I ask you?
Right.
At what point and who will be sending it? Will we start getting the student enrollment updates? I know Amanda was sending them last year as we knew student counts prior to, like every time we had like a school of choice person change or anything, like we were getting those counts regularly so that we knew if we were going to be close on counts. I haven't seen anything yet, so when do those start coming?
Do we need up to the minute updates or like?
She had the sheet live in the drive, and then you just could look at it any day you want, anytime she updated it. I don't necessarily need to see it every minute, but I haven't even seen one, so I'm just kind of curious at what point that sheet starts coming out.
It's new information to me, so
Okay.
but I'll take a look at that and see
Okay.
if I can get that to you.
Okay. I tried to find it in the drive, and I couldn't find last year's, but like it was just like a really simple Excel spreadsheet of we have this many kids in each grade, and then every time like one dropped or two added or whatever, she just updated that sheet and kept it up to date so that the board could glance at it whenever they needed to.
Okay.
You know, if it's pertains to that.
Do you know where we're trending right now as far as?
For school choice applications
For
or just
overall, like for our
overall?
all
I,
numbers.
off the top, I know, I those numbers and look at them tomorrow, but I don't know the ones.
Okay.
I honestly couldn't remember if it started in July or June or when we started getting that sheet, so, yeah. Okay, so we'll get that. I'm assuming a conversation happened in finance, just still clarifying. Are we doing, so 4 years of tech, are we buying them now instead of leasing them? The Chromebooks?
We had decided to lease,
Lease price.
Yeah, it's a
So
lease
this
price.
is a 4-year lease price, but then, like, it'll still be a new price after 4 years, so like we're gonna buy them and then own them at this price. But it'll be the entire district. And then Mr. Burns, you had mentioned that, I believe it was during the interview process of like looking at the difference between buying and leasing, did we not go back to that to see which one would? One of the interviewees had mentioned that it was more beneficial to buy them outright and just change, and you had brought that up.
Yeah, that's what they had assessed at the time. They, they were accepting that they would have to do repairs and that sort of thing.
Right.
And I think that's, I think we felt like we did.
So the lease is the better course of action that
That's what we felt.
we're on. Okay. Can Ms. Merrifield get a copy of the list of add-ons because I haven't seen
Yes.
it yet? Okay. That's all I got.
I'm gonna, I'll wait on the line item, see what we budgeted, where we're at, where we're going, to see the differences. I'm concerned that we were at 15.59 in April and then we're gonna be at 14.
We dropped basically the whole point.
Which is, it's 1.16, about 225,000. So, last year, when we got to July, I keep track of the expenditure snapshot, where we're at in terms of percentage of the expenditures, and we went over by a percentage. We're 5 points higher than we were last year and the previous. I was hoping when we did our budget amendment, that was going to drop. So I'm concerned where we're actually at, and that's tied into that we're over budget on this year. So those are spendings that, as we see them, we have to be able to adjust. So that's where amendments are required when we need them. So yeah, the line item, especially the high school assistant principal / AD or split AD, I'm pretty sure I was figuring that to be tallied in there. So we want to take a look at that. And where, if we are over in specific areas, how we can adjust this next year. For the transportation, we had cut 50,000, now we went over 550. So that's all that's going to be completely with gas costs, but that's a $200,000 swing with some point there as well.
We are being charged a surplus for gas.
Some things we can control, some others we cannot. Let's control the ones that we can as best we can. That's all I have. Thank you, Kathy. State aid.
Is that it?
You can be asking about state aid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay, we're done with this.
Done with that, yes.
Okay, I can't.
Switching
hear.
gears.
Okay. The good news to all this, I know, I'm sorry, I just kind of brought everybody down. We do not have to borrow. I did the cash flow analysis and submitted it to our attorney at Troon, and we do not have to borrow this year. It will be tight, and we'll be monitoring it very closely, but we do not have to borrow. So that is great news.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, for sure.
Now we're back to policy. Got it, Jill? Thank you.
Starting with resignations, retirements, the Board of Education may agree to a resignation retirement at any time after a replacement suitable to the school administration and the board is obtained, provided that the circumstances underlying the resignation or retirement are valid in the opinion of the board and warrant a search for replacement. Mike Fenton has submitted notice that he'll be retiring from his position as teacher at Almont High School effective June 30th, 2026. Ron James has submitted notice that he'll be retiring from his position as teacher at Almont High School effective June 30th, 2026. Cindy Howe has submitted notice of her retirement as interventionist at Almont High School effective June 30th, 2026. Isabella North has submitted notice of her resignation as a special education teacher at Almont Middle School effective June 2026. Jennifer Luna has submitted notice of her resignation as lunch aide at Orchard Primary in Almont Middle School. Ava Van Duren has submitted notice of her resignation as special ed parapro at Orchard Primary. Maren Luxgrant has submitted notice of her resignation as special ed parapro at Orchard Primary.
May I ask a clarifying question? In your vacancies update, it was listed that we needed 4 lunch aides, which is what we currently have now in the OP. Did everybody resign from the OP? The entire lunch aid staff?
I received that update as of today.
I don't know.
Okay.
Crossover.
Okay, 'cause I obviously one on here, so that's why I was asking. I know there was one last month, but I was just curious.
That was the update I received.
Okay. Thank you.
So, excuse me, to the budget that we just discussed, of these people, what positions are being filled or ready to be reviewed and refilled? Are we canceling any of them?
It looks like all these were intended to fill again.
Clarifying question. Was the interventionist, and that one seemed new to me, she retired?
That was just a recent retirement, so we'll have to see how we're going to proceed.
That one's grant funded?
It's grant funded, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's good.
All right, on to new hires. The Board of Education approves all personnel. Mr. Zimmerman is pleased to recommend Susan Brown for the role of athletic secretary at Almont High School. Ms. Lewis is pleased to recommend Samantha Labiak for the role of attendance secretary at Almont Middle School. Mr. Spears is pleased to recommend the hiring of Deanna Braidwood for the role of the secretary to the principal at Almont High School. Mr. Zimmerman is pleased to announce a GEX hire for the girls varsity golf coach. The Board of Education is pleased to announce Kyle Wood as the new superintendent of Almont Community Schools. MHSAA membership. A resolution from the Board of Education is required for our schools to be participating members of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Almont Middle School and Almont High School have been members of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, MHSAA, for many years. The MHSAA is a voluntary nonprofit corporation comprised of public, private, and parochial middle, junior high, and senior high schools whose boards of education have voluntarily applied for and received membership. The association sponsors statewide tournaments and makes eligibility rules with respect to participation in contests. By applying for membership, a district stipulates that it will abide by the rules and regulations set forth by the association. In order for our athletic teams to participate in postseason tournaments, we must be a member of MHSAA. The attached resolution will reflect our intent for both the middle school and high school to be members of MHSAA. Approval of MASB membership. Bylaw 0175 states the Board of Education may consider membership in the Michigan Association of School Boards. The MASB provides a wealth of opportunities for workshops and conferences for members, in addition to such resources as the MASB Journal, Headlines, Tenure Digest. Also, MASB provides several informational annual reports, example, the annual teacher contract settlement report, the superintendent's salary and fringe benefit report, and the administrator's salary report. It is important to note that membership in the MASB allows the district to take advantage of the set-site insurance pools, which have been very beneficial to us. The fee for the 2026-27 school year is $4,399.95. Last year's rate was $4,374.66. The fee includes a contribution to the legal trust fund. The trust fund provides financial and legal assistance to districts facing lawsuits having major statewide impact on school district operations. The Board of Education may accept non-resident students into our schools. The Almont schools participate in 2 school of choice programs. One program is outlined in section 105 of the school code, allows students in the Lapeer Intermediate School District boundaries to apply to our schools. The other is outlined in section 105C of the school code and allows students in those counties contiguous to the Lapeer ISD to apply. We are recommending 15 students to be accepted by Almont Community Schools through the Schools of Choice program at this time, 11 to our limited enrollment classes, 4 to open classes. And they're broken down here. Number of students, 12 into kindergarten, 1 4th grade, 2 9th grade, 1 10th grade, 1 12th grade.
It does, if you look at the notes down.
Okay.
Below.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Is all set?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. We have the summer tech student workers. The Board of Education approves the employment of all personnel. The technology director has used summer tech help for the past few years to ready the technology for the coming year. This year, Mr. Markland is recommending the students listed below. And Neola policy updates. The board adopts bylaws and policies for organization and operation of the board and district. Bylaws and policies may be adopted, amended, and repealed at any meeting of the board, provided the proposed adoption, amendment, or repeal shall have been proposed at a previous board meeting, and once proposed shall have remained on the agenda of each succeeding board meeting until approved or rejected. Bylaw 0131.1. The district's policy service, Neola, has provided updates for the following policies. This is the 3rd reading. Policy 6325, that's procurement, federal grants, funds, revised. Policy 7540.09, artificial intelligence, revised. Policy 8120.09, volunteers, replaces policies 3120.09 and 4120.09. Policy 8655, specialized transportation for students with IEPs, is new.
it.
Here's some questions and comments. Any questions and comments from the audience?
Yeah, I got a couple now. Sinking fund was mentioned tonight, but unless I missed something, have you set up a percentage yet that you're asking for?
No, that isn't considered in the cycle.
So you're not gonna, I mean, when would you announce that? That, you know, the ballot language has to go in, what, September?
August.
August, okay, so I mean, you haven't got too many more meetings before you have to set that, so. The other one is, I'm not sure I understood it correctly, and then Mr. Wade asked about it as well. Is this year's, the 25-26 school year amendment that you're going to do on the 22nd, is that going to be a deficit?
Well, it's zero balance.
It'll be a zero? Then Jamie talked about some overages, and I didn't know that, if that would all included in there or not, so.
That was baked in last year into our over, what we had budgeted into this year. So that's what I don't know where we're gonna be at come to the July meeting. We won't have the June expenditures in there. It's one thing that we're need to keep
But
right on.
the budget amendment has to be done by June 30,
Yes,
and so it will be a zero balance.
at that point.
At that point, even though you may go deficit after the auditors get in here?
Depends on the June expenditures, how that will play into it. 'Cause last year we were under, and then when we got to July, which is the June payment, we were over what we had budgeted.
But I guess my question is why wouldn't you amend the budget to take care of that overage so you don't have to address it all with the state of Michigan?
And that's something we-
Over budget, in other words, so that you come in under budget, or, you know, somehow get that so you don't have to address it with the state.
Well, I don't have to ask you one further detail. So this is not really like a Q&A.
I know.
I understand.
I guess on my comment, then I'll make that as a comment. You know, I think that you should do some amendment that is over so that you don't have trouble with the state. And my last question is, do we have a written contract agreed upon with Mr. Wood, or is that still in negotiation?
No, we're not saying that they're contract. They weren't written.
So on the 22nd, that will be approved?
You're welcome. Any questions or comments from the Board of Education?
Mrs. Smith?
Mr. Burke?
Mr. Merrifield, you know, I know we had some questions there about the budget, but otherwise, like, again, like, just, you know, especially compared to last year, like, this has been a tremendously better experience, I think, all around for you as well. So appreciate your efforts on working on the budget.
I will second that. Thank you so much for your good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
I move the Board of Education adjourn the June 16th, 2020 work session at 7:09 PM.
Second.
Motion and support. Any discussion? All in favor?